What if I told you cells taken from one woman in 1951 are still multiplying in laboratories more than 70 years later? Her name was Henrietta Lacks, and her HeLa cells became one of the most important tools in modern medical research. But the story of how scientists got them raises a question science is still learning from today. Henrietta was a 31-year-old Black woman and mother of 5 being treated for cervical cancer at Johns Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore. During her treatment in 1951, tissue from her tumor was collected and sent to researcher Dr. George Gay's laboratory. Henrietta wasn't told that her cells would be used for research, and here's where everything changed. Scientists had been trying to keep human cells growing outside the body. Most samples eventually died. Henrietta's didn't. Her cancer cells grew so aggressively that under laboratory conditions, they could keep reproducing. Johns Hopkins reports that the cells initially doubled about every 20 to 24 hours. Researchers named them HeLa cells using the first 2 letters of Henrietta and Lacks. Suddenly, scientists had a renewable supply of human cells they could grow, study, and share. Imagine having a microscopic testing ground where researchers could investigate disease without experimenting directly on a person. That's what HeLa helped provide. HeLa cells contributed to research connected with the polio vaccine, cancer, leukemia, HIV or AIDS, the effects of radiation, viruses, and even experiments involving cells in space. They remain widely used in biomedical research today. But here's the part you can't separate from those breakthroughs. Henrietta never knew. She died from cervical cancer on October 4th, 1951, only months after those cells were collected. She was just 31. Her cells continued traveling through laboratories around the world, while her family would later face difficult questions about consent, privacy, and control over genetic information. And those questions didn't disappear. In 2013, the National Institutes of Health reached an agreement with members of the Lacks family establishing controlled